Hey, light beams. Um, I kept hearing they smiling in your face all the time. They want to take your place. Backstabbers, backstabbers. They smiling in your face all the time. They want to take your place. Backstabbers, backstabbers. Oh shit. So don't ask me why that came to me, but I was hearing that and I was like, "Ooh, time to record a video." So, um, first, I just want to say good evening, light beings. Good evening, light beings. Um, um, I don't know why I was hearing that song, but I was definitely hearing that song. They smiling in your face, but all the time they want to take your place. And originally, when it came to me, it was just the words, not the song itself. But then I thought of the song, like, oh, that's where it came from. And so I said, up, it's time to record. Let's get into it. So that song is very prevalent right now because there are a lot of people that are out here that are pretenders. And it's time for them to be confronted. And then it's also time for you to confront yourself. Are you a pretender? Are you dealing with pretenders? Are you allowing yourself to be in the vicinity or the the presence of pretenders or fakers or imposters? And if so, what are you doing about it? Like, are you aware of it? Are you cognizant of it, or you just allowing yourself to just be in that situation? Because if so, you're doing yourself a massive disservice. And those individuals that are those pretenders, or those individuals that are backstabbers, or that are pretending to be on one accord with you, karma is real and it's about to hit the fan. And you might want to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Okay. So, um, backstabbers or pretenders are people who put on a facade or a front, right? They're not genuine. They have ulterior motives, and sometimes it's because they just either they want to get close to you to figure out what it is you have going on, so they can either take it from you or find a way to take it from you or find a way to destiny swap. And I'm here to tell you that no one can take something from you unless you allow it to be taken from you. And when I'm speaking, I'm not just speaking in a physical sense, I'm speaking in a spiritual sense, in a spiritual light, right? Excuse me. 333. So you have to have discernment, right? And discernment doesn't just come overnight. Discernment comes from dealing with multiple situations and dealing with multiple just life experiences that come along that teach you about what you are exposed to or what you have been exposed to, right? And a lot of times we go through things and we don't acknowledge, or we don't, you know, we be in denial, basically. Like, a lot of us are in denial about what's really going on. And the crazy part is that when something goes down, or when you're approached with a situation, or when you're approached with something, typically what happens is you already know the situation or what it's going to be or how it's going to play out or the outcome because you feel it. Most of the time we second guess ourselves, and we tend to say, oh wait, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, or oh wait, maybe it's not really that, or oh wait, maybe I'm exaggerating, or maybe I'm saying something that I shouldn't be saying, or maybe I'm experiencing something that I shouldn't be experiencing, or maybe I'm just making a mountain out of a molehill, or it's so many different scenarios, or so many different obscenities, and so many different things that can come to the forefront, right? And so the fact of the matter is that when if it quack like a duck, it walk like a duck, then damn it is a duck. And the thing is like when it quacks like a duck and it walks like a duck, and we know it's a duck, sometimes we don't acknowledge that the duck is right there, right? And so you have to stop playing games with yourself and stop allowing people to play games with you. Now, there was a scenario or a situation that occurred this week where my son was involved in a situation where he was like, "Well, this happened to me and I didn't appreciate it," basically. And I'm like, "Whoa, what?" And so I approached the situation on 1,000, right? I was just like, "Oh," right? Now, I had to take a moment and take a step back because one thing I don't do is play about my kids. That's a big no. Don't play with me and don't play about my kids. So I saw myself step out of myself and become this vicious, just ugly, just person being, right? And I was like, whoa, why is this even happening? Like, there was a reason why this went down the way it went down. There was a reason why I snapped the way I snapped. There was a reason why I said what I said, and I meant what I said. And that's the thing. I meant exactly what I said. I meant every word I said. Now, how I delivered that message could have been totally different, right? And because I'm aware of myself and I'm aware of how I presented that message or how I presented that information and how it may have affected the people or persons involved in the situation, and how you know that person that I addressed, how they may feel because they might be going through something their own self, right? I put myself in their shoes. I'm very empathetic. So I say, wait a minute, let me take a step back and let me apologize to the person to be the bigger person in the situation because I definitely was wrong. I will acknowledge where I was wrong. I don't have a problem with acknowledging when I'm wrong and holding myself accountable for my actions. So I went to the person and I apologized to them and I said, look, I apologize for addressing you the way I addressed you. It was you didn't deserve me addressing you the way that I addressed you. However, I meant what I said. You know what I'm saying? I meant what I said. So I'm apologizing to you because you don't deserve to be talked to in that manner. You don't deserve to be treated like that, right? No one deserves to be like reprimanded in a certain way, right? Because you don't know what they're dealing with, what they're going through, right? And so I I snapped on this lady, right? It wasn't just her. I snapped on a couple of people. I snapped on the lady and I snapped on the dude. And I was just like, okay, dollar bag, sis, dollar bag. Because how would I feel if somebody stepped to me that way? And all honesty, I meant what I said though in that moment. There were no cuckolds. I don't have no cuckolds. So if I'm telling you something about the situation or I feel some kind of way about the situation, I'm telling you from my own personal perspective, my own truth. And I'm telling you the truth of the things that I see. And I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat and play around with it or whatever the case may be. So excuse me, I said what needed to be said. And then right after it, instead of the person saying, "Oh, well, I accept your apology, I understand," the person kind of acknowledged the apology to a degree, not really. But in essence, slid in like an underhanded threat, right? So I was like, sis, you must not know me. You must not know me. Okay. One thing I don't do is back down from a challenge. One thing I don't do is back down from a fight. And I'm not a physical fighter. I'm a spiritual, emotional, intellectual fighter. You know what I'm saying? So when the woman responded the way she responded, I was like, oh, okay, I see how you are. I see what it is, right? And so I was like, okay, don't get mad about it. Let it be what it is. Let the leaves fall where they lie, right? And so I had to go back and reprimand my son because I'm like, yo, you said XYZ and that wasn't all the way 100. And I'm like, yo, granted, my son is young and he does not fully understand or is not fully aware of the weight of what he said or what he did. However, his reasoning for saying what he said was completely, totally valid, right? However, it brought me to that point of understanding how we can step into a situation or allow ourselves to be put into a situation to cause ourselves to be at a detriment to our own selves, to be harm or hurtful to our own selves, right? And so it brings me to the point of backstabbers because sometimes backstabbers don't even know that they're stabbing you in the back. They don't even know that they're throwing you under the bus. They just doing it. They just behaving, right? And it's not at a fault of their own. It is because they are being manipulated or used as vessels to attack, right? And children, especially, are innocent. So a lot of times they are exposed to things that they may not even realize that they've been exposed to, or they are exposed to things and they believe that they're doing the right thing or saying the right thing, but in essence it causes you to be in a predicament that you don't necessarily have to be in. Right now, I know that's not necessarily the definition of a backstabber person. Ooh, trust, come on baby, you better come on with it. I know that's not necessarily the definition of a backstabber or whatever the case may be. However, it also is a catalyst to the situation. I'll say that. It's a catalyst to the situation because the hold on, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting colds too at the same time. Stop there. Okay. It's a catalyst to the situation because children, like I said, children are innocent. And they don't always know that them just doing what they're doing is causing a rift or causing a situation to go down. And so, because my son said XYZ PDQ, and my son believed XYZ PDQ when he brought it to me in the manner in which he brought it to me, and I reacted and I responded, I jumped out there before I even got all the everything, all the information, right? And what what came to my mind was being aware of all of the what was that? See, I don't know. My thing be glitching. I really think somebody be really like playing my computer, but okay, whatever. Anyway, it brought to my mind the whole synopsis and scenario of understanding how people can play on your top. And when I hear that, what comes to my mind is people playing with your mental, or people playing with your intellect, or playing with your understanding or your consciousness or your awareness of a situation, right? And they use that against you. Backstabbers are individuals who like to manipulate, right? And in this instance, I could say that my son manipulated me by saying what he said to me to cause me to react and respond in the way I did. However, in this instance, it happened for a reason. It showed me something, not just about myself, but it showed me something about my son, and it showed me something about the individuals that he is exposed to, he's around, or the people that I quote unquote work with. So, um, it's so many levels to this thing. When you are at peace and you are grounded within yourself, you have a level of happiness that sits within you, right? And that happiness is a place or realm of just bliss, right? So no matter what happens, no matter what goes down, no matter how you react or respond, even if you blow up, you can always seem to find that level of peace to bring you back to a state of happiness, right? And so in this particular instance, this person that allowed the situation to go down the way it did in regards to my son triggered something in me, right? It triggered the understanding of how people will do or say things to get you to step out of yourself or to act out of pocket, right? Or step out of pocket, right? And when you do that, you in essence fuck your own situation up because you have been manipulated, right? And they use that against you to backstab or betray you, to make you betray you and portray you, to make you seem as if you are something that you're not, or to make you seem as if you're not deserving of what it is that is to come to you, right? And so backstabbers are just, I wouldn't say they're bad people. I wouldn't say that they're negative in a sense, because everything that happens to you for a reason, right? Everything that happens to you to teach you a lesson about something that you need to learn, that your soul needs to learn, or something that you have to kind of exude so that the individuals around you can actually see as well, right? And usually when you hear the term backstabbers, that means, oh, somebody stabbed me in the back. That means they played in my face and pretended they were my friend, they were cool with me, but then all the while they turned around and stabbed me in the back and made me seem like I was crazy or threw me under the bus to make me seem like I'm not worthy or deserving of the accolades, or worthy or deserving of the blessing, or worthy or deserving of the the what's the word I'm looking for? The positive attention that you would possibly get, especially when you are moving in a direction or moving in a way in which they're not, right? And I also know that they'll try or attempt to use you as a stepping stone. So if I throw you under the bus, that gives me the go ahead, or that puts me up here on this pedestal to make me seem like I'm a whole lot better, right, than what I actually am. Now, this particular individual person that I got into it with is also an individual person that has also come to me for multiple situations and multiple help to allow them to step up. So in essence, when I snapped on a lady, I've been wanting to snap on this lady for a long time, right? And I know that me snapping on this lady is not going to solve anything. Me snapping on this lady is not going to make the situation better. Me snapping on this lady is not going to put me in a better light or make me seem like, or portray myself in the manner which I know I should be portrayed, right? So what happened was, I went to the woman. I like first of all, my son said that something went down. I went to the woman and I addressed her. Initially, when I attempted to address her, she refused to respond to me or answer. And I didn't just go off on a lady for no reason. You know what I'm saying? I attempted to try to find out what was going on. And I just like, look, at this point in time, I really don't care what happened. I wasn't there to be a part of it or involved in it. However, I'm tired of the things going down the way they're going down. So how about we just agree to disagree, and I'll just remove myself and remove my child from that environment or from being around you, because at this point you're going to make me, or it's almost like you're trying to force my hand to do something or be a certain way when I'm not that type of person or that type of being. And like I told her, I'm not even built like this. Is like I'm not a confrontational person. I don't like arguments. I don't like fighting. I don't like, it's just not me. Will I do it? Yeah, if I have to. However, at the same time, it's beneath me. And if it's beneath me, therefore that means you are beneath me. I'm not about to stoop down to a peasantry type level to deal with a situation that is not even worthy of my attention or my energy. Therefore, I call my energy back to myself, and I give you whatever it is you deserve or whatever it is you need, or I let the spirit or let ancestors or guides or whoever deal with you how they need to deal with you. And I'll continue to stay in my lane and move how I need to move. So what I'm learning is that when people come into your situation, or when people see you moving a certain way and they are not, um I guess you say they're not welcoming of it, or they're not in agreement of it, or they're not, because it's not to say that, this individual, this woman that I'm referring to, it's not to say that she's not elevating or evolving in her own journey too, right? Because, some information was divulged that, she's elevating in her own way. Okay, wonderful. That's good for you. So I'm not going to take that from you, but I'm also not going to give you anything extra either, right? And so with me knowing how you're moving and seeing how you're moving, I'm the type of person, I will remove myself before I even get into it with you. Or I'm gonna give you enough room to hang yourself and let it, let the cards lie where they lie. And so I'm learning to trust in my responses, trust in my reactions, trust in my just overall ability and capability to man and home myself. And when you think about, excuse me, how far you have come, many of us have gone through trials and tribulations. We have gone through all kinds of just craziness in our lives, all kinds of just fanatical, just you name it. All of us on this planet have gone through something to some degree, right? The point is if you're learning as you're going through these things, these situations, these scenarios, these Lord help me, because I be channeling sometimes too. Sorry, but it's like And I'm hearing it. They smiling in your face all the time. They want to take your place. They backstabbers. Backstabbers. It's not just about this woman in this environment. It's about everybody that I've ever like come across that's watched me come from the bottom and work my way up. So like when I think about my life, right? I started out very, very just green. Zero green. I started very green, very naive, very immature, very just happy go lucky. The world is beautiful butterflies and rainbows and sprinkles and fairies and flowers and trees and birds and 2020 and all these things, right? And then I got out into the real world and I was like, oh, this shit is nothing like what I thought it was going to be. But okay, let's still have rainbows and flowers and birds and trees and whistles and all these lovely things, right? And then the storm clouds rolled in. And I was like, oh, okay, it's okay to have a storm because storms, even though they're treacherous and they're crazy and they can be scary at times and they can be a little, it's watering my seeds. I'm still gonna grow, right? And I know storms will pass, right? So as the storms pass, not only did the storm pass, but then it was like this massive, just it was like this massive just wave of just like humiliation and rejection and just like I don't like this and I don't like that. And there's so many different people that just don't want to see you excel, evolve, grow, change, or be different. Nobody wants to see you doing better than you. And that's that like crab in the barrel mentality where, if you're moving and you're elevating and you are rising up and you are allowing yourself to recognize and see, hey, I made a mistake right here. I see that when I made that mistake, this is where it took me. This is what it did to me. This is how it affected me. This is how it affected people that are involved as well, or the people that were in the vicinity of it. This is how this person reacted. This is how that person reacted, and you start to really pay attention to all the things that are happening to you, and then especially if it's happening more than one time with different people, but it's kind of the same scenario. If you're paying attention, if you are growing, if you are evolving, if you are changing, you then can kind of pinpoint and see what's really going down, right? And so I don't know if I said it in my previous video, but one of my videos I did say that people been attacking, right? People can attack by conversation. People can attack by thoughts. People can attack by emotion and feeling. Especially if the feeling is strong enough, if they really are just having a massive disdain for you, or if they're just talking about you behind your back, you have to understand that energy is felt, whether you realize it or not, whether you are conscious of it or not. It's still felt, it's still affecting you. Now, it's a matter of how in tune and how strong you are and how much you have built up your immunity that you can deal with it, right? And I'm thinking of that whole scene with Rocky. He was talking to his son. And he was like, it's not about how hard you can get hit. It's about, what do you say? It's not about how you get hit. It's about how hard you can take the hit and keep going, right? How long can you allow someone, or how much can you allow someone to knock you down before you get back up and keep going, right? You have to learn that everybody's not going to like you. Everybody's not going to accept you. Everybody's not going to want to see you grow, evolve, and change and elevate to the next level. There are going to be people that are going to reject you. There are going to be people that are going to talk down to you or talk down on you or tell you no or close the door in your face because they don't want to see you go beyond where you actually are. That's a level or a space of control, right? And sometimes even the best of us, like the ones that really mean you well and really want to help you, they also have that same instance, right? Where they want to control the narrative or control or dictate to you how you can or cannot move. It's a matter of you knowing how to play the game if you even want to involve or indulge in playing the game or be involved in it, right? Because you don't have to be engaged in the game, right? You can always take yourself out of the game and say, thanks, but no thanks. I don't agree with that. No, I don't accept that. I cancel that. Or, okay, well, you said that, but this is what I say, and I'm sticking to it, and I'm standing on it. So I don't give a fuck what you say, but this is how I'm going to make my moves, right? That's a matter of discerning. That's a matter of authenticity. That's a matter of understanding and respecting your space. It's a matter of also surrendering, right? And I know when you hear that word, it's like, what the fuck do you mean surrender? How you want to surrender to something that no, babe, it's surrendering to the fact that you know that you're all knowing. It's surrendering to the fact that you're powerful within your own right. It's surrendering to the fact that, I'm better than this. It's surrendering to the fact that I know I deserve more than what you're trying to give me or more than what you're allowing me to have access to. Therefore, I surrender and I bow out gracefully. I remove myself and I allow myself to find a space or a realm of creativity so that I can maneuver through the mysteries and maneuver through the centri, centri, I can't say the word, centrifugacies. I'm about to make up a word. But maneuver through like the things in life, right? Like this, I want to say centrifugacies. I don't even know why that word keeps coming to me. I don't even know if it's a real word. Centrifugacies. I feel like I'm making up a word. But like things in life are so significant and not significant at the same time, right? Excuse me. So like this woman reacting and responding the way she did. Okay. It was significant, yet it was so insignificant at the same time. It's all in a matter of, am I going to surrender to you, what you said and allow what you said to make me feel some kind of way? Or am I going to surrender to myself and say, you know what, you were being the bigger person, continue to be the bigger person. Don't even engage anymore. Don't even interact anymore. Remove yourself. Right. And so for me, I'm really big on isolating, right? I isolate myself a lot. And not because I don't want to be engaged or involved. I isolate because it allows me time to step back from a situation to really see it for what it is. And a lot of times we're so in things that we don't take the time to take a step back from it to see all of the moving parts or all of the moving pieces, right? And so when you go to a space of isolation, you are allowing yourself to be disconnected from all that's around you. And that is important because you have to be able to learn and know and trust your own feelings, your own energy, your own mind, your own thoughts, your own just emotions. You got to be able to feel yourself, right? And own yourself and manage yourself and master yourself and ground yourself and regroup. Like I said, in this situation, I helped this woman multiple times. In fact, the way in which I helped this woman was so much allowed her to get credentials that she was attempting to achieve. Only for that situation, it didn't blow up in my face because, wonderful, kudos. I helped you. My hand was in the pot. I did my part. I don't need the accolades because I know what I did. I don't have to boast about it because I know what I did. Now I'm talking about it because it's prevalent to the situation in which I'm trying to explain, in which I'm, the message in which I'm relaying. However, when I helped, I didn't go around broadcasting, yeah, I helped her do da 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 da. For what? I don't have to do that. God sees me. My spirit God see me. My ancestors see me. My angels see me. My children know what I do and what I've done. The people that are really close to me know how I move. The people that are really close to me, and trust me, there are not a lot of people close to me at all. And if you're close, you only but so close. And that's on purpose. I'm very calculated in how I do things. I may not always say it, but I'm extremely calculated in how I do or say things. And yes, it seems like, oh, well, she's impulsive. No, I live in the present moment because that's where your power lies. And anytime I feel like, I'm off, let's go back to isolation. Anytime I feel like something's not right, oh, let's go back to isolation. Let's play this tape back. Let's look at this scenario. Let's observe. Let's, be aware. Let's pick this apart and see what it is and see how, okay, let's pay attention. Because a lot of times we don't pay attention to And we think we pay attention and we gripe about it and we talk about it and we gossip about it and we point fingers and we da 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 da. You're too involved. You're too engaged. You have to know how to let things flow how they naturally flow. Because if you keep wanting to make it right, or you keep wanting to be engaged, or wanting to be involved, or wanting to point out how this one or that, when there's this, that, and that, all you're doing is making yourself seem or look crazy, right? For what? I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm far from crazy. I'm very sane, right? I'm more sane than most people that I interact with. And it's funny because I joke about it and I say, look, friend, I'm healing. I'm not healed. It's a joke, but I know I'm healed. I claim my healing. I claim it. And I joke and I say, I'm going to need you not to take me to the dark side because all the screws are not screwed in on this. All of my screws are not screwed in on that side. So you might not want to take me to the dark side because when I go dark, I don't care. And even in the light, I'm learning. I don't care. How it plays out is how it plays out, right? I know how to tap into my magic. I know how to tap into my gifts. And just because I know how to doesn't mean I have to. Just because I know how to doesn't mean I have to use it in a begrudging or a negative way. I pray for you before I curse you or ask you or send you any spells. I'm not even built like that. Why playing? Because see, what people fail to realize is what you wish for somebody else or what you wish on somebody else or what you say about somebody else, it turns back around on you. At some point in time, it's going to come back because this realm is all about duality. This realm is, I hate saying this word. This realm is about is cycles, cyclical. This realm is all about cycles, okay? So that saying, what goes around comes around, that's real. What you put out comes back. And you don't know when it's coming back. And like I said, I linked on this lady. I mean, I cussed this fucking lady out. I even cussed my boss out. Like, look, I don't give a fuck. I said what I said. I meant what I said. I'm standing on business. I don't give a flip how you do X, Y, Z, P, D, Q. But this is how I'm doing it. And you going to rock with what I said, or you going to go and kick rocks and blow bubbles and sit on twirling some more shit. Because I'm not with none of it. I'm not backing down. Like I said, it's not going down how you think it's going down. Now, if that means I got KO and peace out, I'm out. Like, don't give me an ultimatum. I'm not the right one. Cause I'm loud I'm liable to really do some crazy shit. Like, and not like in no detrimental or like hurtful or harmful way. But I'm liable to be extreme. Right? I know that about myself. I can go to the extremes. Now, for me, because I choose to operate in the light, when I go to extremes, I'm not going to wish any hurt, harm, or ill will on you. I'm just going to call judgment. Call judgment. And rectify myself. Collect myself and recognize where I was wrong. And be accountable for my actions. And send that shit back where it belongs, where it came from. Right? I know how to take space. And when we are dealing with individuals that are not happy to see us grow, are not happy to see us evolve, are not happy to see us change, do not want us to excel or, just envious or jealous or hateful or hurtful, all you're doing is calling that shit right back to you. Therefore, that's why I apologize. Because I'm like, no, I know I was wrong. I own that. Because I cussed her ass clean out. And that lady was old enough to be my mama. And I was like, sis, you know better. Go fix that. Go fix that. Right? Go apologize to that lady. Because she didn't deserve you talking to her like that. I meant what the fuck I said, though. Now, how I said it, and that's exactly what I said. I apologize for the way that I spoke to you because you didn't deserve me speaking to you in that manner. However, I didn't mean what I said. I meant exactly what I said when I said it. Now, how I delivered it, I definitely could have delivered it a whole lot differently than how I delivered it. Therefore, I apologize because you did not deserve that backlash. You did not deserve it. You didn't. Now, with that being said, her response was like, okay. Her response, definitely not the response I expected, but in essence, I wasn't expecting it to be any better than what I received, but it was like, okay, bet, bet, right? Bet. Because I already knew you were going to respond. I knew she was going to respond a certain way. I already knew she was going to respond a certain way. But friend, trust and understand and believe. I'm not that one. If I apologize to you and I hold myself accountable and I own my own actions and I own myself, don't disregard. Trust me. It's not a pretty sight. And I don't have to do anything to you. Just pray for you. Lord help her. Lord help them. Lord help me. Right? And karma is real because it's funny because after all this happened, and I apologized to the lady, and the lady said what she said to me, and I was like, "Oh, worry, bet, say less, got you." Yeah, I went and talked to the other person, my supervisor, my boss, because I cussed his ass out too. I went and talked to him too because I apologized to him too because I was like, I'm wrong. I apologize for putting you in a position that I put you in, whatever case it be. But I also let him know, like, okay, I spoke to the lady and I apologized to the lady, and the lady responded, and this is how the lady responded to me. And he was like, you are a much bigger person, a better person than me because I don't know how you do it. He said, and you're still smiling. He's like, you're still in a positive energy and you're still willing to just work with the situation. You're still so flexible and about it. You're like, because what's the point of being angry? What's the point of being upset or irritated by anything or anyone? When people show you who they are, believe them. Believe them. Because that is exactly who they are at the time that they are exuding that energy or portraying themselves. Right? And when a person, and it's not to say that this lady herself is a backstabber, right? I'm not going to say that she is. I'm not going to say that she isn't. What I am going to say though is that when a person shows you their true colors, you have to acknowledge it, right? As an aspect of them, a part of them. And you have to discern, you have to say, okay, if this is what this person is capable of, anybody can be capable of this behavior. So, how do I react or respond accordingly in a manner or a way that is going to be beneficial, not just to me, but to all parties that are involved? You have to learn how to create the space, right? You have to know how to create space. And I'm going to move this card. And you have to know how to reflect. Baby, I don't know if you can see it. Reflection is in reverse. You have to know how to reflect. And you got to trust your intuition. Because your intuition never lies to you. Never lies. Never, 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 never lies. Your intuition usually your first mind. That gut feeling, that just voice that says, don't do that. Go fix that. It's like Jiminy Cricket that lets your conscience be your guide. But real shit, let your conscience be your guide because you know, you know. And when a person decides to betray you, or when a person decides to do something negative to you, it's not your job to do something back or retaliate. It's not your job to retaliate, right? When you retaliate, that shows a weakness in you. That shows a space in you where you need to grow, evolve, and change. You have to learn how to always flow so that you can always find your balance. Okay? You can't allow someone else's ideations to take you somewhere that you don't need to be, or you don't want to be, or you don't deserve to be. Right? And you don't want to have the ideation then you're always right. Because you're not always right. I know I'm not always right. I know I make mistakes. And I love the fact that I make mistakes because mistakes are lessons and opportunities to help me grow. Mistakes help me to stay in my passionate energy to keep pressing forward. Mistakes, they highlight where my soul needs a little bit more tweaking, right? So I'm not going to drag this out any more than I already dragged it out. I jumped all over the place a little bit. I was talking about backstabbers. I was talking about, people or individuals or beings who don't want to see you grow, evolve, and change or be better than what they are. But you have to grow, evolve, and change and be better than what you are. And you have to step out your own comfort zone because if you can identify it in somebody else, then 9 out of 10 is prevalent in you too. So if it's prevalent in you, have you done the work to make it better? Have you done the work to fix yourself? Have you done the work to want to see somebody grow, evolve, and change and be better or excel in their lives? Have you done the work to be happy for someone besides yourself? Have you done the work to want to allow life to flow how it's supposed to flow and to allow people to just accept or receive their gifts or their blessings and not stand in the way or try to block them, right? You got to learn how to be happy for other people. You got to learn how to appreciate other people for where they are in their situations because when you learn to appreciate other people and where they are in their situations and you learn to be happy for other people in that sense, then people can learn to be happy for you. And I feel like we all are deserving of happiness, of peace, of compassion, of understanding, of elevation. We all are deserving of love and enlightenment. We all are deserving of it. It's a matter of are you doing the work? Are you in the space to receive? Are you open to receive? Are you open to accountability and acknowledgement and being aware of your part in things? Because most of the time when people are backstabbing you, that's because they either think that you're doing something that you're not, or they think or believe that you're moving in a way that they're not moving. And a lot of times they don't even know all the moving parts. They don't even know half the shit that you had to entail to get to where you are or go through to get to where you are. Right? They're just wanting to be in that position and wanting to be in that space. And so it's just like, yo, kudos to you for being where you at. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy for you. I appreciate the fact that you have made it to where you made it because that allows me to appreciate myself too, right? When you learn to appreciate others, you develop a level of respect for not just yourself but for other people. But more so, like when you learn to appreciate other people, you develop a level of respect for yourself, a standard of living, right? You got to step out of your comfort zone. You can't be just a butthole all the time. You can't. You can't be envious all the time. You can't always like I mean you can because it's your life. You can do whatever the hell you want to do. It's just it's unfortunate because when you are envious or jealous or just wanting what someone else has or you're wanting to knock someone down from the so-called pedestal that you put them on because remember mind you I don't have to put myself on nobody's pedestal. I put myself on my own pedestal in my own life. It's my life. I'm on the pedestal of my own life. I don't need to be on the pedestal of your life, but if you put me there, that's something that you have to deal with, not me. I didn't put myself up there, you did. You got to deal with that. Why did you put me there in your life? Why did you have me there in your life? Why did you want me to be in that position? I didn't put myself there. And maybe in my journey, in my walk of life, I did. But in your life, I didn't put myself in that position in your life. You did. We put people in positions that sometimes they shouldn't even be in, and then get mad because the people acting and carrying on doing the things they doing, but the whole time you put them there in your mind, in your hindsight, you put them there. So if you don't feel like they deserve to be there, why did you put them there in the first place? just so you could say they don't deserve that. Like, you did that. So check yourself, like, so check yourself before you wreck yourself. And I'm gonna leave the message there, like, for real. Remember to not know self, always be true. Peace, I say I'm gonna say. Peace. See y'all.